Extremely difficult conditions in this karting race. It is soaking wet. Soaking wet. You can see here I am getting in my position here for this race. Now, what's context? This is my quest to become a karting champion. And this is round 4 of my championship, and it's the sprint race. So this round we have a sprint race, and then we have the Grand Prix. This is a sprint race. And we're starting at the back, I think because I would have been slowest in qualifying. There are some heavyweights in this race. You can see the driver right at the front, on the right-hand side, in the white helmet and the blue under a translucent overall. He is my heavyweight rival. See the guy that's in probably second place on the right-hand side? So I'm potentially losing big championship points here. Big championship points. So we need to move forward in this race. 14 karts, and we're starting at the back. So let's go. It's a different layout as well than you might have seen on the channel before. So very, very, very difficult layout to drive this one. As it comes to this left-hander here, and then we go through a sort of chicane where it's so wet on the left-hand side, and I am struggling for grip big time. By the way, there's going to be moments where there'll be some water on the lens. I do wipe the lens quite frequently, just knowing that's going to be the case. So just bear with it if you go through a few corners with that water. But I can tell you, my visibility on my visor is worse than I can see now. Like, on the visor, it was absolutely terrible. So we are struggling for grip big time. But as a heavier driver, as a heavyweight, because I'm in the heavyweight category, and there's a few heavyweight drivers here, but there's also some lightweight drivers. Now, everyone's got their hand up. What has gone on here? Is it a false start? It's a false start. It's a false start. Wow. So something had happened there. Let's cut to the rerun. So here we go. Grid's been reset, and we're going to go around again for the restart. Not exactly sure what the issue was. Maybe the stewards weren't happy with the start not being fair or something like that. But we go again. We're starting in last place again. You can hear the GoPro microphone is absolutely clogged up. It's torrential rain out here. It is stupidly wet. Someone around our outside, so we might try and gain a position here. Remember, we really need to genuinely try and gain positions here, overtake any heavyweights that might be in the midfield of this race, and get closer to our championship rival, who looks to have been marginalised. Can you see him there in the blue overalls with, oh my word, that guy's just absolutely driven straight through that puddle. And you can see it's just horrendous now. We're in the wetsuit. My hands are soaked through. There's a massive traffic jam here. Can we find a way through? Oh! We would have got through pretty cleanly. You see that shaken out the microphone in the GoPro. And people left, right and centre. It's absolute madness. I thought we were going to get closer to our rival there, but he's managed to get away. Come on, we need to go faster. Someone's got their hands up. Is it a yellow flag? No, it isn't. I'm not sure what's going on. Where are we going to brake? Coming into here, we should be able to brake later. Someone's gone spun it. Oh, big contact. Let's go around the outside of them both. Hopefully not going to get pierced. And yes, we just about survived. See how wide that goes, guys, going on the outside there. So many different lines you can take in the wet. Now, I find that as a heavier driver, I can often take really narrow lines and not lose a lot of time. So we're in kart 20 today. Everyone going wide there. I'm just going to keep it narrow and try and get it planted. It hasn't worked out here because he's managed to stay on the inside. But I still feel like my route there might be the faster way through. I'm not sure. Now we need to catch up. There's no excuse as much here for being heavier. I think being heavy here can be an advantage if you drive to it. Should be less of an issue down the straight because everyone's struggling for grip. But it potentially could be an advantage in the corners. And this particular corner here is a really fiendish corner where you can just lose so much grip. The car is very oversteering. So have a look at my hand movement, and you'll see me I'll be counter-steering a lot. In fact, there'll be a lot of times I'm turning away from the corner that I'm driving into, which might seem a bit weird. But this start has not gone well. I think I can see my championship rival there just going out of view now. So we need to push this. We need to be braking late. This could be a championship ender. We lose a lot of championship points because we just can't afford to do it. We need to move on up. 14 cars in this race right now. I think we're in, let me check. Yes, we're in P13 right now. So we're only one off the back, and that just won't do. Come on, we need to move this forward. We need to be trying to get inside the top 10 here, I think, really. And trying to be aggressive on the wheel, actually, not trying to be smooth in the wet. You want to be aggressive because the karts, you need to make them oversteer. You don't want to give in to the understeer. You just drive around too slowly. You need to get the car rotated. So you see here, I'm just trying to get it rotated. Come on, come on, come on. That's not the best way of doing it. I think, what about through this very fast corner? Well, it isn't the driest fast corner. See, we're just turning it. When you see me turning the wheel full lock and sort of nothing's happening, that's just the understeer. You're waiting for it to bite. So do you want to accept that and go in a little bit harder? Oh, dearie me, we're going to lose another... Oh, there's a whole calamity here. 3 karts off. So we lose 1 position. I don't know why it's giving me the thumbs up there. So we would have gone down to last, but then we gained 3 positions. So we've actually gone back up to 11th after all that. So a little bit of a bonus. And you can see my rival there is only 5 karts ahead of us, as there's yellow flags out on the back straight, so maybe karts still being recovered. The good news for us, as we're racing now with the guy in the black suit, as you see my rival, he's had someone, I think, go up the inside. There's now only 4 karts ahead. I'm trying to take this narrow line here. There's a bit of puddle on the inside, but just trying to crash through it. And here, just trying to manipulate the kart. Just want to manipulate it, get that rotation, and now get on the power. Has it worked? Arguably, yes, it has. And you can just see these terrible conditions we're driving in here, where there's no grip, and you're on the edge a lot. If you're trying to brake as late as possible, and then you overshoot it, or it turns out it's got a little bit wetter, you will aquaplane and you will go into the barriers, or worse, the grass. Trying to brake late here, turn in. Arguably, the curbs might be a little bit more grip on them because of the way they're serrated. And going around the final corner here, we know it's to play for. 16 lap race with that false start, and what are the lap times saying? 11.4. It might just be getting wetter because it looks like the rain's still coming down, I think. So come on, let's go. Really hope you're enjoying this series, by the way. Me trying to become a karting champion, trying to become better. And this is a race where, in the wet, you need to prove your chops. You do need to push yourself. You need to try different things on the fly because the conditions are unique. The track has never been in exactly this condition ever, with the puddles, you know, where they are and on different corners and whatnot. So you need to try different stuff. Fortune does favour the brave here, but of course you don't want to bin it as well. As you go on the back straight through the little weave. See, there's quite a few cars ahead of us there, not too far out of sight. 10-minute warning on the barrier for the sprint race, on the gantry I should say. And surely we can get into these drivers. P11 at the moment, but I don't feel like we're being dropped. I feel like it's in our hands. I feel like there's more time to gain. Let's go for a little lap guide here. So over the start finish, I like to keep it tight on the inside. Keep it really tight like that. And the kart's very loose, and then re-grip, and then turn in early here. Just turn in early over there, and then try and straight line it on the exit. And then what we're going to try and do at this next hairpin is, I think I'm going to try and take an inside line. Oh no, this time we try and go wide. Try and go wide that time and see if there's more grip. So we're deliberately trying different lines. What about here as well? This time I try and go really... I don't think that's worked. We sort of shot past the apex. But this guy goes wide, and we're definitely catching this group now. Unfortunately, this time my rival is now 5 cars ahead, so he's really profited. So as it goes for the championship, this is not good news. We need to catch up. Into the spray we go again, into the mist. I'm absolutely soaked through by this stage. Some people do have the waterproof gloves, the waterproof boots as well. Or a custom wetsuit, but I think my wetsuit, the rental one here, is absolutely fine for doing the job. Wetsuits are, you don't want to have to wear them really more than you need to. So coming in here over the line again, and it was a 1:10 last lap actually, which was 2.5 faster, and then 10.5. So we have found a little bit of pace. Maybe it's getting drier, maybe we're getting a little bit faster. And here's a group of 4 that we need to try and really get through. That my rival ahead is proving that as a heavyweight you can be in the top half of this field. So that has been proved to me, and we need to go and follow now. All the information we need is there, or the belief. Now let's go and execute it. See people sliding here on the exit, and you can sort of slide into that mud and then bring mud onto the track as both those guys have a counter sim over at the same time. Oh, someone's up the inside of us. Not what we need at all. It's George Russell. George Russell goes up the inside of us. And he looks, have a look over. Are we going to try and get him straight back? No. So as someone runs wide there, so not good news. Let me just double check on the standings front. Bear with me. As, oh yes, we go over the line for this lap. We're going to be in 12th place. So in 12th place right now, and on the grass. Oh dear. Did George Russell see us or not? It doesn't matter. Bit of a Bottas and Russell at Imola moment there, wasn't it? Nice to have a bit of drama anyway. And right, okay. Oh goodness me, we've got these 5 karts ahead of us now. So we're in P12 out of P14. We're dropping back again. Come on, we've done a few races here now. We need to be better as people taking very different lines. Looking at the George Russell line, so tricky on the exit here. Can we just try and barrel through here? Look at me turning the wheel, just anticipating that the kart's going to grip up. That seemed to be a decent approach actually. Just barrel straight into that aquaplaning zone and then just wait for the kart to grip up. As someone spun ahead. And think about going inside, outside. We end up going outside, so we'll go back up to P11 here. That's a little gimme. And it is very easy to spin the kart. So fair play to everyone who's driving, you know, really sort of smoothly and not seeing a lot of yellow flags. Because otherwise we would actually profit more. So going up the inside, we see we go a little bit deep here. Oh, we end up all the way over there. Look how much time we'd lose just by overshooting that. I think we did anyway. Let's try and get this guy in the yellow helmet. So he was a 1 minute 12.7 last lap. There was that instant around the end of the lap where we had to go a bit wide. But can we get back in the 1 minute 11 to 1 minute 10? You just don't know because the conditions are so variable. We work this one out here. Come on, come on. Oh, might straight line that a little bit earlier. Might have a decent run to turn it in, get the wheel turned. Just barrel through it, re-grip. Has that worked? I don't know. It's difficult to say. Come on. Come on. Come on, car. I feel like we've definitely lost time here. So we're still working it out. Also, oh! He snatched the brakes out. All you need to do, if you apply just a little bit too much brake pressure as you're turning in, you will instantly spin the car in these conditions. So that is going to be another position. And yes, we go up on this lap to P10. So we are in P10 now. Can we get any more? And sort of think about saving points. Remember, there's a championship point here for fastest lap. And as it stands, I'm going to be... Well, I'm really losing championship points here. So my quest to become the heavyweight champion of the world, or of this part of the world, is taking a severe blow. But there's still the Grand Prix to go. And who knows, maybe we'll get a different kart, maybe it will handle very differently. Oh, it goes all the way right, we're going to go around the outside. See how much lock he was putting on there to try and save it. And so we take P9, I think. Yeah, there's no one on the inside of us there. So as we approach lap 12, we are going to be in P9. Can we hang on to that? How many positions are we giving away to our championship rival? We are bringing it back. And also, what can we learn here for the grand final? Let's see what sort of approach we're going to do. Remember that 1 minute 10 lap, you know, if we can do those every lap, we need to look back and see kind of what that was about. As not sure that's good. It feels like we're just sort of chundering to a halt there. Maybe take a lot more of that curb. See, we're working the wheel quite heavy. Do we take the wide line around this hairpin or do we take the short line? Let's see. Looks like I've definitely committed to the wide line there, trying to carry that speed through. So that'd be interesting. We do have a little delta you can see in the bottom left there next to the speedometer. Drifting it around here. You can just hear basically that the engine just really struggles in those conditions. They're just trying to keep it absolutely flat. And waiting for the kart to re-grip. So we are in P9 at the moment. Can we get any more positions? Or will we lose a load of positions? P9 out of P14, all things being equal, as a heavyweight, and as it's my first sort of, wet race here for a long time, and I think maybe my first ever wet race around this configuration, I think we would, I'm not sure we'd take it, but it's not great, not terrible, as they said at Chernobyl. And that was a 1 minute 10.2, so maybe drying out, or maybe we're getting a little bit faster, I don't know. But a 10.3 and a 10.2, as we have a few laps to go and try and see whether we're actually catching, but yeah, as I said before, our heavyweight rival is proving that weight is no obstacle in these conditions. The kart does look like yellow flag behind us, I think. The kart does look like it's very sort of weirdly understeery a lot of the time, when you might actually expect in these conditions for it to oversteer in those moments because there's not a lot of grip. But it just seems to be still persistently understeering, but there we go. As we go onto the back straight here, so it's going to be 3 laps to go. What's the timer saying? Just 2 minutes on the timer. You can see a lot of the spectators are taking cover. There's a D-Max field on the inside, so in this championship there's a 2-stroke field and a 4-stroke field. I'm in the 4-stroke field. It used to be this championship used to run everything at the same time. I actually have some videos from those races. If you want to see those, then let me know and I'll commentate them and put them up. Now they run it in separate fields, and it means that you often have closer racing, but it's not happening like that today, I have to say. Not happening like that today, as we definitely dropping off. Is this wide line? Is it definitely the one? Hard to say, because you still end up hitting that puddle on the exit, don't you? So I feel like you may as well get to the puddle quicker because it's going to slow down regardless. And here, just struggling so much for grip. Anytime you don't have the wheels in a straight line, the car is sort of squirming around. As we go onto the back straight, we're very, very, very fast here in the drive. Very fast braking point. Where are we braking? You can see maybe around that sort of break in the tarmac under the gantry post there, possibly. We are still keeping this P9 though, which I'm happy about. We never get to the left hand side of the track there. We're sort of in the middle-ish. As we go for 2 laps to go, is there someone a little bit slow ahead of us, potentially? See, there's various warnings on the board there. Got to be careful not to punt anyone or go on a curb. See, there's so many marshals around the place that you really can't get away with any silliness here. Very, very solidly manned is this circuit in the wet. And because there's not a lot of people spinning off, I mean, if you went here in a sort of open session, it'd be more yellow flags, not yellow flags. I think certain karting YouTubers will have a field day with, inverted commas, NPCs. But in this championship, everyone's driving very smooth. And like I said before, there's a lot of very experienced drivers in this championship who have grown up at this track. They've gone through, in essence, the sort of youth teams at this track and are now progressing through the adult championships. So it's 10.8 last lap. We're going to go for the final lap here. Should get a last lap message on the board. This is the sprint race. I feel like anything is up for grabs in the race. We've sort of fallen off here, but if we reset, I have an air of optimism that, you know, we haven't spun off. We haven't looked in danger of spinning off. There's more time to find. We look quite... If we can get in that groove, we should be able to battle. Can we start to fight people on the brakes? Remember, we're coming into this championship cold. We're not experienced here in recent years. We're not used to these conditions, all these layouts. And we will need to get up to speed if we want to win this championship. A lot of the drivers here racing in multiple championships at this circuit during the course of the week, whereas we're coming down for just this one, so we have to learn quickly. But please rate this race in the comments. Now, it's a bit of a weird one because our finishing position is, unless we have big drama here in the last few corners, it's going to be better than any finishing position previously overall. 9 out of 14th. It's getting close to the middle, but we have been beaten by our championship rival. So I'm going to give this one a 4. I'm going to give myself a 4 out of 10 here. And I really hope we're going to prove in the Grand Prix, which if it exists, it's on screen now, so go and watch it. And if it doesn't, watch some of these older races. If you love karting, make sure to subscribe as well. I'll see you next time.